Okay, Psalms 51. I have to do this for 30 days. I think I'm in my 15th day. We're killing it. Okay, I always forget to find it. There you go. Okay. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercy. Blot out my transgressions, wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee I only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightst be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part, that thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sin, and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God, the God of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of thy righteousness. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall spew forth thy praise. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else I would give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasures in Zion. That build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Then shalt thee be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offerings and whole burnt offerings. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thine altar. Amen. Okay. I have been changed it up a little bit. So I got this book from my mom. Old book. It's made in the 1950s, I should say. It's very, very old. Now, it's called My Catholic Faith by the Mission House. And it says Seekers of Truth. Okay. This is a very old book. It says 1949, actually. Okay, every time I forget that, every time I show this is backwards, so I'm going to stop doing that. Okay. We're going to start with Apostles' Creed. We got that. Sorry. I'm reading. I'm trying to read exactly where I left off. Okay, yesterday. This is the part where I was very intrigued at how in the Bible that's how they spoke back then, and in one of the ways that you see that God was acknowledging that He understood the way that they spoke. So this shows me that God sees things, He knows all things, and He watches over us, and He sees all of us all the time. Is because when He addressed Moses, and He said, "I am the I am," and I'll read this part to explain what that means in their language. and why he said it like that. It shows that God was aware of what was going on down there and how the language was spoken, and whenever they speak of certain things, he understood the context behind why they said it, what it meant when they said it like that, which is cool. So that does acknowledge that God is aware of all things that go on down here. Okay, so what is this? Well, let me start down here. What do you mean when we say that God is self-existing? Okay, this is the artist. I like the book's art. It's 1959 art, so it's like really old book. I mean, you can see how old the pages are. It's a really old book. Pages are really old. I love it. Okay. What do we mean when we say that God is self-existing? When we say that God is self-existing, we mean that he does not owe his existence to any other being. God made us, but who made God? God said to Moses, I am who I am. Exodus 3:14. He exists for himself, deriving his being from no other. God is the first cause. Okay. Back then, whenever, if you read in the Bible, it says how they would present themselves to each other. I am the son of David. I am the son of Moses. When they would greet people, they would explain their heritage or who they came from, who made them, their lineage. Okay, that was the way they greeted themselves, so that they could know who their family was, how they were perceived in society, how to be treated as such. Let's say if you walk up to a stranger and you didn't realize that that stranger was above you in stature and you disrespected them in their ways, you could be, I would say, they would cut their arms off, they would cut their tongue down, they would cut their eyes. They would do all those things if you would abide by their rules. And one of their rules in society was when you address someone, you let them know your lineage, your social status, so they could treat you as such. So when God said, I am who I am, I am the I am, it was him saying, the part where they say, I am the son of Moses. He's saying, I am not the son of anyone. I am the I am. I am the first. I am, because if Moses was to greet somebody, he would say, I am the son of so-and-so. And so on and so forth. So it would go all the way up to him. It's like a pyramid kind of thing. You get what I'm saying. So God was addressing them in their language by saying, I am the I am. I am the beginning. I am the creator of humanity. Because Moses was created by his father and mother, right? And Moses created his sons. Well, Moses and his wife created his sons. So God, when he addressed Moses, he was letting him know his social stature right away. And he was saying, I am the I am. I am above all. I am the only one that exists. I am the beginning of the I am. I am the first being. God made us, but who made God? God said to Moses, I am who I am. He exists to himself, deriving his being from no other. God is the first cause. All other beings and things owe their existence to God. In comparison to him, we are nothing. Man can never have a complete knowledge of God. Man is finite and cannot fully understand the infinite. A cup can contain the immensity of the ocean more easily than a cup can contain the immensity of the ocean more easily than a man can fully understand the infinity of God. Whoa. A cup can contain the ocean easily, more easily than a man can understand the infinity of God. The ocean could never fit in a cup. One cup? A little cup? The entire ocean? They're saying that that's more easy to obtain than us obtaining the infinity of understanding the infinity of God. We will never be able to obtain it. You will never be able to obtain putting an ocean into a cup. but it's more easier to obtain the ocean in a cup. We know God only partly for the order, harmony, and existence of things, from our conscience and from God's revelation to man. What do we mean when we say that God is infinitely perfect? When we say that God is infinitely perfect, we mean that He has all perfection without limits. God is immense and eternal, an ocean without shores or bottom, the unchangeable being that only Himself can fully understand. His greatness is unsearchable. Unsearchable. You will never know His greatness because you cannot search it. You will never find the answers fully because it is all in Himself. God is so great that wonderful that we need nothing to make Him greater or more wonderful. He possesses all perfection, countless, innumerable, illimited, boundless, the cause of perfection in all. God cannot be better, more holy, or more perfect than He already is. He is at the acme of perfection, the uncreated, the infinite. Heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain Thee. Heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain Thee. Even heaven can't contain God, is what they're saying. He has a place. He created the heavens for Himself, but even the heaven cannot keep Him there or keep Him contained in there. Cannot pinpoint Him down and understand and how you say it. It's not where He has come from or where He belongs because He is above heaven. He is before the heaven as well. He created the heavens. If you read the Bible, He created the heavens and earth. So He was also before the heavens. You understand? That's something I didn't realize. He even made the heavens. So where He sits at on His throne in heaven, He made that place. That's crazy to think about. Okay. So perfect in God that He is infinitely incomprehensible, incapable of being completely understood. Reasons can vary the revelation that God made of Himself. But when we make our reason or our emotions the final authority, make ourselves our own God, and shut the road to the supernatural, the infinite. Okay, let me read that again. Reason can verify the revelations that God made of Himself. But when we make our reasons or our emotions the final authority, we make ourselves our own God and shut the road to the supernatural and infinite. So when you try to put an emotion on it or an understanding on it of your own, you are creating your own God. You're not creating the God. If you come to a realization in your own emotions and your own thoughts that you will never understand Him, and you don't try to because it's completely impossible, and you just accept the fact that it's so supernatural and infinite that you trust it and believe it and understand it, that it will never be completely understood, and you don't try to search for it, then I believe that is the God you should perceive of, not the God that you place in your emotions and in your thoughts as a limited God. I think that's a hard thing to grasp. I think we all need to pray for the gift to be able to not understand, but in our own emotions, give the grace of our own emotions to project that we don't have our own God in our own thoughts and emotions. You get what I'm saying? God alone can bridge the chasm that yawns between the finite and the infinite. When we take advantage of His grace to seek Him in loving trust, He holds out his hand, a father calling to children to cross the chasm selflessly to him. Selfless. Not selfishly, selfishly. Selfishly. So let's think about it like this. How can you selfishly... Oh, I'm sorry. I have a problem reading. Says, a father calling to children to cross the chasm safely to him. Yeah, like I've said before, I have an issue with ADD, I think it is, where I read words that aren't there because it's not that I see the word differently, because I see the word, but I'm already jumping to conclusions that I know what it's about to say, so I say it out loud before I look at the word. Like, say I said the creator is above all the created. No, I just can't read. Sorry. I've had this problem my whole life, so I'm trying to practice it. It's part of my sobriety healing process too, and I think that God called me to do that. What is touching my foot? A fly. Okay. The creator is above all the created, though something of him, some likeness of his being may be found in every creature, but even we're all creatures. For the most glorious seraphim to the lowliest of moths, to combine their powers in perfection, there will be a faint shadow of God's all-encompassing supremacy. So you were to combine all the angels and all the creation, all the way down to a piece of moss, everything in whole, put it in a ball. We would only get a portion of the supremeness of him, a portion of who and what he is. That's huge. When they say God is infinite, they mean in a sense that, I think about it like the solar system and the galaxy. In our minds, we know that it's infinite. That can go so far where we could never comprehend how far it goes. Think of that in kind of a small portion of what God's supremacy is, meaning he is 10 times greater than that. If not a million times, if not a trillion times greater. He's infinitely greater than that. That is so hard to wrap your mind around as a human being. This is why they say, don't try to. Just trust and believe that that's what it is. What are some of the perfections of God? Some of the perfections of God are God is eternal, all good, all-knowing, all-present, and almighty. That are just some. Probably just 5. That's good to know. Because I did say recently, I've been praying, and I said I wanted to know God more intimately. I wanted to know him more intimate, not know of him, but know him as intimate as I can, personally. Like I would want to know Jesus intimately. Like I would have loved to have met him and been able to know him and meet him and see his personality and him talk to me, and you get intimately close to him conversation wise and thought wise and prayer wise. And I think that would be beautiful. So my goal is to be spiritually closer to God, more intimately, intimately spiritually closer to him. I don't know if you can put that together, but that's what I'm doing. So that's what we have today, guys. I love you so much. 71 days sober. Bye, guys. I love you. I'll see you later.